I don't know. You know, it's showing people watching.
All right, I made it.
I'm so proud. Like a comedy waiting game.
I feel like I'm on a game show.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like if Jeopardy got a remix.
Yeah. I hope I don't bomb here as hard as I would on Jeopardy. I would not make it far.
Look, the thing about Jeopardy is that some of those people are doctors and they know about history and like all this stuff. They don't know shit about pop culture. Every time it's like a category like 90s hip hop, I'm like, oh, all you smart people sit down. I'm about to go Who Is for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yo, if they ever had sports, like if Aaron Rodgers actually becomes the next host, I got it. I am there all day.
That would be badass.
Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Good, real good.
Appreciate everybody coming. We have a great lineup today. Some of my favorite comedians. So you guys will have a great time tonight, I promise. It's been basically almost 2 years now. This is the 46th episode. We've been doing this every 2 weeks, so that tells you we're coming up on 2 years.
Wow. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, that's awesome. And awesome. Just kind of some housekeeping. We'd love it if you could unmute your mics. We'd love to hear you laugh. If you want to bring up your videos, we'd love to see you laugh. But we understand a lot of people aren't comfortable with that part of it. But please, unless you've got some background noise, that's a problem. You know, unmute your mics. We'd love to hear you. We are comics, and our cocaine is your laughter.
True. It's true.
And it's been a rough couple years here. Everybody's been going through a lot of things, but as comics, it's really tough because you can't really do your craft if you can't leave the house. You know, the 2 mics are the only thing we've been able to do regularly. Live shows are hit or miss. They're coming back, but they get canceled periodically, and it's still not back up to 100%. And a lot of these comedians, this is their livelihood. So this is where they make their money, or at this point aren't making their money. So if you're having a good time, I'd ask you to do 2 things. One, subscribe to our channel so you can see future shows, spread the word, tell your friends. But also, if you really had a good time, we have 2 ways that you can send some donations. A couple bucks to the comedians would be much appreciated. We have PayPal. It's paypal.me/BD comedy. And then we have a Cash App at $button down comedy. If you feel the urge, send some money. We will split it between the comedians. And hopefully they'll be able to buy some liquor because, they need their liquor. Now, yes. For those of you who know really well, they also need their weed. So, we'll say liquor to keep it clean. But other than that, let's just get some started. It was funny. I was at a show last night, and a couple in the front were basically talking to one of the comedians earlier about being into BDSM. And I had some experience with BDSM, not firsthand, but I actually knew a dominatrix. And her significant other liked to have his testicles crushed by her stilettos. I was in pain just listening. I mean, she actually made a little vice type unit to put on his testicles. And to, you ever see Adam Family with Uncle Fester's? Yeah, that's yeah. She actually, people pay her to listen to her pee. Every time she went to the bathroom, she'd call them up and start charging. You got to admire the ingenuity. I mean, for me, I had a girlfriend that said she wanted a fairy tale relationship. I wasn't quite sure what she meant till I came home and found 7 short guys in the bedroom. Yeah, with so I had this one girlfriend that she had to have her food separated; it couldn't touch. You know, and I asked her, I said, "What about things like stir fry, where it's all mixed together?" She says it's fine as long as it comes out that way. So I just had to remember to put the whipped cream on before I went into the bedroom.
Oh, God.
She actually had this dog that didn't like me very well. It was one of those mixed breeds that got cock blocker, but it did like whipped cream. I had this benign lump removed from my arm. It was about the size of a walnut. My girlfriend wanted to see it, so I had to take pictures of it. I showed her the pictures. She goes, "Ooh, neat." Then I showed her the scar, and she goes, "Oh, that's disgusting." Should I be concerned that she wants to see my guts, but not to see? I think I'm going to sleep with one eye open. How many people like Disney? Round of applause if you like Disney.
Yeah.
I don't get Disney. I don't understand. Eating cookies shaped like Goofy, candy shaped like Daisy Duck, waffles shaped like Mickey. But then they kicked me out while I was eating Minnie. Okay, maybe it was the rotisserie and the fava beans. I don't know. That was a sex joke and a cannibal joke all in one. I've been doing a lot of driving, and the other day, I let some guy in. And when you let somebody in, all you really want is the wave, right? Some appreciation for doing something nice.
Yeah.
Up next, my no wave. So I put him into the wall. I put him into the wall hard, because if you don't teach them, they'll never learn. And you know what? He was learning. He was waving. It wasn't a single finger wave. It's a start. The car in front of me had that. The light over the license plate was flickering. So I'm thinking to myself, faulty bulb? Or is there somebody in the trunk trying to send me a Morse code message? I wish I knew Morse code. Not as much as he wishes I knew Morse code. I saw this one place had a sign that said custom framing. I had to check it out. So I went in there. The frames in this place were absolutely perfect. The attention to detail. By the time I walked out, my boss was doing 20 years for a crime he did not commit. I do like signs. They have the deer crossing signs whenever there's been incidents where people hate deer, which really makes me wonder what shit went down with that tractor crossing sign. My favorite sign, though, Vacation Bible School. I have racked my brain trying to figure out what is the difference between the regular Bible and the Vacation Bible. Are we talking, skiing off the back of the ark? Jonah taking people out on fishing expeditions? Jesus bringing bagels and lox to the picnic, figuring he'll take a dip afterwards, but can't get wet. Do you think that they tried to give Jesus swimming lessons when he was a kid? And as a teenager, he had to be a little cocky, turn that water into wine while he was walking on it and nearly drown. So I do get into religion a bit. The thing that I've noticed is that the Religious Institute is really into technology. I mean, I called the other day and I got one of those automated systems that said, for impure thoughts, press 1. For harm to self or others, press 2. For carnal desires, please leave a detailed voice message. Well, I'm gonna bring up our first comedian. I met our next comedian in Greenville. He is been doing a lot of the mics that I do down there. Hilarious gentleman, nice guy to talk to. He is. You have a show coming up, don't you, Chris?
What's that?
Don't you have a show coming up?
Oh, a show coming up? Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, I have a show coming up at a bar called the Break and Run in Honeypath on the 11th.
Well, anybody who's in the area, he's good to see in person too.
Thank
All right.
you.
Yep. Chris Wilson.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
All right. This is very awkward for me. So if you see me staring up here, that's where the computer screen is. I got to look at the webcam. You are here. Okay, cool. So I went to the Laughing Skull Lounge in Atlanta last night. Or not last night, the night before. And it was a pretty big deal to go down to Atlanta. And I was super nervous. And the show went okay. And then all of a sudden, the rapper T.I. showed up. And he did some stand-up comedy. And there was a guy sitting next to me. And I had told him earlier in the night, I said, I'm going up on stage. And he said, you need a good luck drink. And he handed me a mini bottle. And I said, oh, no, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, though. And that same guy looked at me later and he goes, man, am I drunk out of my mind? Or is that rapper guy, T.I.? And I'm like, I think that's him. And it turned out to be him. And he was actually really funny. We did the show. It was good. But then my night just turned into chaos because I can't drive because I have cerebral palsy. So I have to, I'm always in the passenger seat. And my mom was driving, God bless her. And she has a Ford Focus, which is actually a term for a big pile of shit. And because the computer was messed up and it decided to tell us we had gas when we did not, in fact, have gas. So we're stuck on the side of the highway. And then we call Allstate because you're in good hands with Allstate. That big, loud black man is a liar. Okay. You are not in good hands with Allstate because we waited for half an hour and he called us back and he said, we have no drivers. We can't help you. We're sorry. They don't put that part on the commercial. So anyway, we had to wait I don't know. We were supposed to get home at 12:30 a.m. We got home at 3:30. We had a highway patrolman take us to get gas, which was interesting because he just said, I walk up to the car and I'm real iffy about getting in a police vehicle or going up near a police vehicle in the rain on the side of the highway. He goes, hop on in here. And I told him, he said, I'll take it to get some gas. No problem. And he hauls ass. I mean, he floors it. I'm not wearing a seatbelt. Neither is he. I found the humor in that. But anyway, long story short, he got us gas and, we got home. But that reminded me of another story. Have you ever been in a relationship and found out you were the smart one, but still got pissed off about it? Because my ex-girlfriend was dumb. And I use that term vaguely, so you can't tell which one I'm talking about. But anyway, my ex-girlfriend would say things. She would make small talk with police officer when if she got pulled over for a tire or a missing light or something, she'd get pulled over and she would confess to things that weren't true. She would just be like, hey, how you doing today? She'd be like, I'm the Zodiac killer. And I said, honey, I don't think you are. You're only 30 years old, and and she would be like, oh, can I see your ID? And she'd dig through her purse and she'd be like, geez, I hope I left all our heroin at home. And I'm like, well, you shut up. We're going to end up going to jail. So that's the kind of girl that I ended up with. But so I have cerebral palsy. I was born with it. I really hit the jackpot on that one. My biggest enemies are any kind of physical activity, curbs, steps, and baby gates. Have not conquered any of those, but that's one thing I deal with. And anyway, it's kind of strange having cerebral palsy. Like, I didn't let cerebral palsy beat me. I didn't let that coat hanger beat me. I just get PTSD on laundry day. That's terrible. That's terrible. My mom really hates that joke. And so yeah, I've been dealing with it. Cerebral palsy is interesting when you're dating, especially if they don't know how to handle it. Because I was out with my ex-girlfriend, the same one, you know, that talks to the cops. We were out somewhere and somebody came up to me and they said, "Hey, how are you?" And I went to say, "Hey," and she just cut him off. They go, "He's got cerebral palsy." And I'm like, whoa. I said, first off, we're at Applebee's and that's the waitress. And I was going to say cheese sticks, but thanks for stealing my thunder. That's the kind of stuff I had to deal with. Yeah. My sex life's interesting. Yeah. Cause you know, I was doing good one time. I was giving her like the full 3 minutes. Like I give people on stage. I had in a mouthpiece. I had a headband on, right? You know, I'm doing my thing. And she's freaking out and she started screaming. She goes, "Chris, I can't feel my legs." And I'm like, "Hey, I got cerebral palsy. Me neither. You'll be fine." So, oh boy. So, is everybody here vaccinated?
Woo.
Yeah. I had that conversation with a gentleman at a bar. I was sitting at the bar and this guy looked at me. He goes, "Hey, are you vaccinated?" And I said, "Yes, sir, I am." And he goes, "Well, you're a fucking idiot." And I was like, whoa, that's a hell of a conclusion for you to jump to. You're wearing Crocs. Don't judge me. And he goes, "Well, you're an idiot." He said, "The government is trying to chip you." He said, "You're going to be stupid and let them chip you too?" And I'm like, yes, because I want my own Bluetooth and I want my own Wi-Fi. Like that is something I really need. And I'm not going to give him the password. It's Bootyfest 29, but I'm not going to give that to him at all because he's kind of a jerk. You know, but there's a lot of different things like we go a booster shot, which it's cool with me. I'm used to being boosted like up steps and yes, things like that. Not a big deal. So you got this booster, and let's see, you got what is it? Moderna, the Pfizer. Does anybody know the bad one? What's the name of the bad one? You may know.
Johnson?
Yeah.
Johnson and Johnson.
Yes, Alec Baldwin. That's the right one. You take that shot one time and it will kill you dead. I promise. He really ghosted that one guy. That's terrible. But yeah, I got the vaccine, and it's kind of interesting because I've got cerebral palsy, and now I can't tell what problems the vaccine has given me and which ones I was born with. So that's kind of difficult too. My dating life's gotten a little bit better. You know, because girls have been treating me like I've had COVID since 1996. Like I was an original. And yeah, I ended up going on a date with this one girl, and I made a grave mistake. I did not know this from her picture because girls always make that funny, cute face picture, you know, in their dating profiles. This girl was cross-eyed. Like she could look at both shoulders at the same time. And I ended up going out to a 3D movie with her, and I thought her head was going to explode. It's terrible. You know, I hate that joke, and that was one I went and threw away. And I ran out of jokes one night, and I blurted it out, and they're like, "You need to keep that." And I'm like,
Funny.
okay. So I've kept it ever since. So I do appreciate that. But yeah, I haven't been in a relationship in a while. Because the last one was a doozy, was really a doozy. I had a scare when she showed up at my front door, beating on the front door and opened up my front door, and she's there, and she holds up a pregnancy test, and she goes, "Now our baby's going to be retarded and crippled." And I gave her that look like, Jesus Christ, I thought you were the pizza guy. Oh man, I wanted a hot and ready, not a cold and bitter. But that's just what I got. Yeah, she was terrible. We got in an argument one day because we had to go to like a fancy deal. I don't even know, some family deal. And she was making fun of my dress shoes. Right. And she goes, "You look like a clown." And I'm like, "It's just bedroom shoes." And we got in this argument and I took it too far. I said, "Well, you look like Nancy Reagan because you're good at swallowing children." And that got me in trouble, but that's okay. No, yeah, my ex-girlfriend, she liked to try new things. I just didn't know she meant penises. I wasn't sure about that. And anyway, she was terrible. Like, that girl had more random children inside of her than an orphanage. We were at dinner one time and she sneezed and somebody's kid was dangling out of her face. It was terrible. I'm not known for my clean comedy. I'm still working on that. But yeah, she was such a vain girl. She was always taking all these crazy selfies and stuff at inappropriate times. She was on Snapchat when we were having sex once. And it's really weird because I made my O face, which is kind of like this, but I had dog ears. And that's what pissed me off. I really don't like that kind of filter. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't like to admit this, but I was almost an abortion when I was born, but my parents couldn't afford it and they only paid half price. So now I'm here and I'm alive today on a Zoom meeting. So thanks for having me, Geo.
Woo!
Oh boy. Mama. Yeah. My grandma's heard some of these jokes. My dad showed her a video and she's just like, as long as you having fun, baby, is what she told me. But we used to own a bar. And the bouncer would come up to me and he'd go, "Chris, come here." I'd get so upset when I saw them two fingers because that meant something bad fixing to happen. He goes, "Chris, come into the women's room." And I'm like, "Oh no, you don't go in the women's room. That's not territory for me." And we go in the women's room and he goes, "What's that in the floor?" And I'm like, "I don't know, what is that?" And he goes, "That's a front tooth." And I'm thinking, what kind of lady goes in a bar and loses a tooth and just leaves it in the floor? It was really awkward that we had it in our lost and found for like 2 weeks. But I just can't imagine that scenario where you're like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm with my girlfriends. We're going to listen to some Taylor Swift and we're going to get drunk and just fuck that tooth." It's a strange thing. And one time he told me, he said, "Chris, come into the parking lot." And I'm like, "No, not the parking lot." And I looked down, he goes, "Chris, look at this." I said, "What is that? Is that a dead possum?" No, it was a thong with Dookie in it with a wig on top. I don't really need a punchline for that because I can't imagine the scenario where you poo yourself and then lose your hair. That's another thing I had to deal with. It's really strange. Does anybody here like to get on Facebook?
Yeah.
I certainly hope they get on it and watch this. Yeah, I got on Facebook, and it's all people just talking about what they had for dinner that day. And it's really sad when it's like, "Wow, you took a picture of that. That's a grilled cheese, but that's cool that you took a picture." And there's always that one Facebook person. Like, you can get on Facebook and be like, "Man, my grandmother passed away the other day." And you get all they come flooding in. Heart, care face. One asshole, just this thumbs up. Like, "Sorry about your grandma." Right on. Apparently that's what that means. Yeah. One asshole. Exactly. That's my dad, by the way. My dad's an asshole, but it is what it is. And the thing about Facebook, and it's not all girls, and so don't anybody think that, but there's some. Like, there's a couple girls that you just wonder about. There's always this quote, and it's like behind some stars, you know, and it says like, oh, she shines like an ember in the night sky. And you're sitting there thinking, really? This bitch? I went to school with this bitch. They don't have the kind of quotes for this girl. Like, hey, I got gang banging on the hood of a Nissan in the Denny's parking lot. They don't have that one. Or like, I've had more kids left on my back than a possum. They don't have that one. Or my personal favorite one. I don't know how you spell that, but you get what I'm saying. God almost threw up. Oh, there you go. God almost threw up. That would be another good one too. Oh Lord. Well, I used to work at Walmart. I left the Waffle House to go to Walmart. That's like eating outside in 30-degree weather and then going somewhere where it's 20-degree weather and it's raining. That's Walmart. And I worked with an old man named James, and I really liked James because James was 78 years old and he had been at Walmart since the 70s, and we didn't have Walmart then. So wherever he was from, he was at Walmart. And James had this, I don't give a damn, I'm old attitude. And, you know, I have cerebral palsy, so of course they make me a door greeter. And you have to train for that. Apparently there's a lot of stuff you got to learn. And one thing they told us, they said, if people come through with backpacks, check their backpacks because they could be stealing merchandise. And one day me and James were in the lawn and garden, which, by the way, that's the place you want to work at. There's days you literally do nothing back there because nobody goes back there. I woke James up 3 times once. It was great. But anyway, we get a beep on the radio and they said, hey guys, we need you to check these bags because we think these guys are stealing DVDs. And James just goes, boop, 10-4, gotcha. He goes, Chris, I've been here a long time. Let me show you how this is done. And these guys come walking up, and James walks up and he goes, y'all have a nice day. And he steps out of the way and they leave the store. He goes, don't get your ass beat from Walmart because they don't pay you enough. Well, I'm about out of time, so I've got a couple more jokes. I've got some really bad jokes that I'm ashamed of because I'm like, I wrote this and I feel bad. Yeah, you're excited. I'm glad you are. Is everybody okay if I tell these jokes?
Yes.
Okay, good. I've got the approval of at least 2 people. If your mic is silenced, I figured that's a thumbs up. So if I say these jokes, you can't get mad. And remember, it's a felony to hurt a handicapped person. Okay. First joke, and I'm sorry about this one. I think ejaculating should be called Sandy hooking because you're blasting kids. That's the first one. Sorry about that. And the second one, I got booed for this joke and easily. Apparently they don't have a sense of humor. This second one, they go, if you were a special ed teacher and one of your students shows up late, can you mark him down as tardy and still feel good about yourself? Now, I told that joke one time at a bar and I caused an uproar because somebody jumped up out of their stool and they said, don't say retarded. They said, my kid's fucking retarded. And then it made it awkward for me because I'm like, Dad, sit down. You're causing a scene. And I'll sneak one more in, and I'm sorry about this one too. Does anybody ever go out and get drunk? Any of you guys ever go out and get drunk or just sit at home and get drunk? Yeah. You ever just got shit housed?
Yeah.
Have you ever got Rittenhouse? It only takes about 3 shots. I think that's my time. Thanks for having me, Geo. If you don't invite me back, I don't blame you. Thanks, buddy.
Let's keep it going for Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, Chris likes to tell the jokes that we laugh at, but really feel we shouldn't laugh at.
Yeah, just like me. Yeah.
But we laugh at it.
Yeah, we do.
Our next comedian comes from Charlotte, North Carolina. I met him, I think about 2 years ago. Probably about 3 years ago, I think. Jeez, before the pandemic. I say 2 years ago, and I think, shit, pandemic's been 2 years. Had to be longer than that. But met him at a place called the Evening News in Charlotte. We did Mike there, and just fell in love with this comedy, and just one of the nicest people I've ever met. So let's please give a big round of applause, Shaine Laine.
Yeah.
That's my little brother.
That's me. I'm everyone's little brother. It's just this baby face. Mostly the jokes are when I tell people that I'm almost 30 years old and they look at me like, you just graduated kindergarten. What are you talking about? Like that face is lying to us. I'm excited for tonight. I love virtual comedy because I don't have to leave my house. You know, like that is fabulous. That's the best thing ever. And it's up to you guys whether or not you're imagining me pantsless. So thank you. It's just, and later I'll ask what size you think my dick is, but that'll come later. I really appreciate it. But I love all of you guys coming through. Thank you. Give a round of applause for yourself. Yeah. That's how it is. We got Megan. I thank you for coming through. Gathia, not showing your video, but your mic is on, so it's appreciated. Thank you very much. We got JL, just laughing. You know, that's how I associate it. So mic on. Jenny, I don't know where you got your top, but I really want you to tell me where you got it because that looks fabulous and I appreciate it. And then, sir, what is that name? Sac Shenanigan Tempian. What is it?
Sakshi.
Sakshi? Well, it was nice to meet you, Sakshi. I'm going to call you Sax, and I like that. I like how you look like you're about to ask the world for a ransom letter. Thank you very much. And G and iPad 2. It leaves me to question, where the hell did iPad 1 go? Like, I'm very concerned, you know?
It ran away from home.
It ran away from home. Oh, it's just like me. So we relate, you know, it's cool. It's fine. Oh my goodness. That's great. Who was it George? Were you talking about the religious jokes?
Yes.
Was that it earlier?
Yeah,
I'm currently doing a master class or a master's degree for religious studies. And I'm letting you know now, it is legit all for a bit. Like I am paying tens of thousands of dollars just for comedy so that I can have a degree and say, hey, if I make fun of this, you legally cannot yell at me. So that's just how it goes. I really wanted to do religious studies because I wanted to figure out how the world became so obsessed with feet. And I definitely blame Jesus because that's all that these stories are telling us. Oh my goodness, this Zoom comedy is fun because I can just ramble and I pretend like people are actually listening. So I appreciate my voices coming through. I definitely work out, but I don't understand CrossFit. When does anyone need to be fit enough to bear a cross? Like that doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. And to work out, like to be healthy and everything, you got to work out and you have to eat the right food groups. So I love eating veggies. I love eating fruit. I love eating ass. Like it is just so great just going through. And I typically eat the ass of fruits if you're picking up what I'm putting down. But we are going through everything just like this mic is, or this show is going. My full name is Shaine Oliver Laine, so I'm SOL. It's great. I love Zoom. It's fabulous. I actually over the pandemic, I built a stage in my house. Like I'll show you guys it. Boop, there's the stage, the microphone's on the ground. But I know a lot of comedians didn't like Zoom because they were worried about inviting people into their home. And I was like, okay, I can definitely top that. I've never topped anything in my life, but I can definitely top that. So it was pretty cool bringing a lot of people into my home and just doing a private show for everyone. So that was pretty cool. But basically, I also had a heckler, okay, in my own home. If you want to talk about a comedian's nightmare, like hecklers are basically like vampires, okay? You have to invite them in. And I just said, hey, welcome. Also, here's some alcohol. And it was just a night, I tell you. I do have another show streamed live from my living room, from my couch to yours, coming up on March 25th. So my little handle is there, and hopefully, there we go, little handle, like I'm flicking the bean. Okay. I really hope all of you can tune in and enjoy more of the chaos that you are seeing. But like I said, my name is Shaine Laine, so I'm automatically a Disney Channel actor. Like that is just my curse. It's a blessing and a curse for sure. You see this face, you hear that name, like I totally could have been traumatized by a mouse. You know, I can practice a little bit for you guys. Here we are. Hi, my name is Shaine Laine, and you're watching Disney Channel. Yeah. My mom takes my paycheck for drugs. It's a classic Disney line. It's great. It's just how every Disney Channel actor lives their life. But I learned.
No. Stop.
No, stop. I'm sorry, iPad too. I know.
No, I'm
iPad
sorry.
one is that way. Is it a dog? Is it a cat? What is it? You gotta.
The cats. The cats.
I love pussy, even though I've, said other things before, but I really do enjoy, cats. I enjoy it. It's nice. Oh, what was I doing? Pussy. Oh, I haven't thought about that in a while. I really got distracted for a moment. I apologize. Oh yes, Disney, all the shenanigans. But basically, because I grew up watching a lot of Disney movies, I think it was Chris who asked to watch Disney movies. That was me. My parenting came more from Disney movies than my own parents. And a lot of the life lessons that I learned from Disney is how great things happen to kids when their parents die. And that has just been the message that I have seen throughout the entire movies that I've watched. It's like a Kuna Patata. It means no parents. It's great. It's fabulous. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Big Sis. I appreciate. This is the moral support that I've always wanted, and this is what I need. I've also learned how to love through Disney movies, so I'm fucked. Basically, like I love quickly, intensely, and idiotically. That is just how my love life goes. I have recently met my soulmate, and it's been a glorious 3 days. Thank you. But we have already broken up, so that's just been the cycle with everything. Yes, the crinkling is exactly how our relationship ended. It was just like, oh, into debris. It was terrible. It really was. I should have known that, I don't blame him. It's just hard to date a comedian. Like, we talk about our lives from morning until dusk, like all of these things. We just put it out on stage. So I understand it's hard. But I should have known that we were destined to just not work out when I first went over to his house, and this is how he greeted me. He was like, bienvenue. Oh, bienvenue, what is that? He was French Canadian, so he's designer Caucasian. We could call him Off-White, but it was terrible. I should have known from that bienvenue. You're in the welcome room. Bitch, what? I'm in the what? You come over to my place and you are welcome to my studio, okay? Like one more step and you are welcome back outside. It should have been known to not work out like that. It was trash. He lived in a place called Myers Park. Like, that's where all the rich people live in Charlotte, is Myers Park. And I grew up in a trailer park. So it was meant to not work out. Like, my area was called wood lawn, meaning that our lawns were made of wood. Like, it was just not going through. Oh my God. Another thing that added to our differences, and that I should have known that it wasn't really going to work out. We were just raised so differently. He was raised as a man, and I was raised as a female. I am a transgender man, so if you haven't laughed or said anything, it's a hate crime now, just letting you be aware of it. And I know it's on Zoom, so you can't get like my full body, but I always enjoy just letting that announcement sit there because people look at me and they just don't know what the fuck to do. Like they at first they'll a lot of people going through their heads, they'll be like, okay, trans, got that. When is he becoming a woman? I'm very confused. And I can let you know now, I was a woman for 24 years. It was not my cup of estrogen. I did not like it at all. And a lot of people will see me and they'll be like, trans man. Okay, so where the hell are them titties? Like where are they? I'm very confused with everything. Like is it brought to us by duct tape? What's happening? But I did recently have top surgery, which is pretty cool. And for those of you who don't know, top surgery is where they surgically make me a top. So, hey. Again, I have never topped anything in my life, but it's for comedy. We got to do it. Top surgery is where they snip snop the nip nops. They yeet the teats. They throw the chesticles in the receptacles. They cut off the breast, and you know the rest. Okay, but that surgery cost $10,000. And in my Jen, that face, absolutely, it's just trash. But you want to know what's trash? To get breasts put on, it's only $6,000. And I feel cheated. I really do. I know I mentioned jokingly hate crime before, but this is the true hate crime. Like, if I would have known that if I could have donated a breast, then maybe my surgery wouldn't have been an arm and a leg. You know, like instead of lots of love, let's call it tits of truth. Like, let me donate like sharks, guys, with your investments. We can make this a reality, okay? Oh man. It's been a fun time. I've enjoyed this. Obviously, I enjoy all of you. I'm excited to see what is left of the show, but like the true man that I am, I'm going to finish early. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.
Oh,
Woo!
Yeah, Shaine, I really think they need to have a trans Etsy where you can basically, you can barter and say, hey, I got some breasts. Anybody need some breasts?
Yo, facts. Like an old timey, like, hey, I don't have money, but like you trade your penis, I'll give you my breast. Let's go. Like,
Yeah.
I'll look into it. Absolutely.
I mean, it seems like, 10,000 to get them removed and 6,000 to put them on.
yeah.
Is that like a rated on a scale? Like if you get a size B, it's so much. You get a D, it's like.
No, it's 6,000 across the board, which is absurd, even for them, you know.
So you got to wonder: is there some trans female that goes with the double D's and then goes back and gets breast reduction surgery later?
Like a 2-for-1 deal.
Both great, Our next comedian headliner is personally, I feel that she is the funniest comedian that I know personally.
You're so sweet.
She was on our live shows when we had them. She's been on 3 of our Zoom shows, and I love her. And I love everything I've ever seen her do. She makes me laugh even when she doesn't try.
Oh.
Please, let's have a big round of applause. One of my favorite comedians, Jenn Snyder.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hi, all of you. I just want to say hey to everybody. I think there's a few people I know in the room. I think my friend Katya is here. Hey, Katya, so good to see you. I think my friend Jenny and probably her husband Kevin, unless that's my brother Kevin, which I doubt seriously. But thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. Shaine, you are so funny, buddy. I love you. How did you have a heckle? Who was the heckler? Did you know them, or they were a stranger that someone you knew brought?
No. I did know them, and they were actually trying to get in my pants that night. And of course, because of them heckling, I had to kick them out. Like,
Right.
that was my own.
Or bad behavior like that, sir. No. I don't get the mindset of a heckler. What goes through heck? They're just sitting there and they're just like, look at this fucking asshole trying to bring some happiness, some joy to my life. How dare they? Let me interrupt them with my linear thoughts to what they're fucking saying. One time I had a white lady ask me questions. I'm like, pretty white women, I know y'all don't hear this enough, but y'all got to shut the fuck up sometimes. You just got to shut the fuck up. That's mean. I'm sorry. We'll move on from that. Shaine, it is expensive I wanted to get a breast reduction surgery, but I was too fat to have the surgery. And I'm just like, that is counterproductive. Yes, I know I'm fat. I'm carrying around 50 pounds of fucking titty. If I could get, I'm supposed to run with 50 pounds of fucking titty. I tell you how I'm supposed to. I ain't. Because I can't. I don't understand life. I'm working through it. Chris had me thinking about some of the people that lesser people that I have been with. This is a funny story. I dated a girl once. Dated is we went out a couple times and we slept together. And she called me one day in a fucking panic. She was crying. She could barely talk. She's sobbing. She's like, I just found out in order to work for hospice, I have to take a drug test. Y'all, this bitch thought she was going to fail a drug test because she had sex with my stony baloney ass. This was a college-educated fucking woman, you guys. She had a master's degree, and my GED ass had to explain to her how that's not how it works. Like, my fingers aren't imbibed with fucking THC, you nutty bitch. That's not. Jeez, man. I don't know. I don't know what Chris talking about his ex just brought that all back to me. I was like, that really happened to me. And here's the thing, you guys, man. That smoking weed is how I've coped through all this shit, all 2020 and everything after. And the thing is like, I've been smoking weed a long time. Man, I've been smoking weed since weed was bad. Shit, you don't even know. Look, young, and you probably ain't never even seen weeds without seeds in it. Let me tell you, weed used to come in the shape of whatever container it was in previously. Sometimes you would just get the corner of a bag. It would be compressed corner. You would start breaking it up and fucking seeds would pop out like German cockroaches. You never seen so many seeds, man, just all over the damn place. When you smoked a joint, it was like a surprise fucking pinata. You didn't know when it was going to explode and just pop out a bunch of weed on your ass. It was dark times, Shaine. It was dark times, I tell you. And I've been smoking weed a long time. Like, I'm so old that I used to save my lunch money up. $2 a day. I would save it up to the end of the week so I could buy a dime a day. Y'all, that fucking dime would last me all weekend. I would roll 4 blunts out of that bitch. I don't know how. I was like Jesus with the loaves and fishes. I was making miracles, y'all. Making miracles. I don't know. It's been... my girlfriend's laughing at it. She's amazing. So yeah, I've been smoking weed a long time. And here's how I know I smoked too much fucking weed. And here's how I know that the pandemic just traumatized us all. Y'all, we were in the middle of the pandemic and the government came out and was like, hey, y'all, aliens real. And what did we do? Nothing. Bitch, we didn't do nothing. We didn't say nothing. We didn't do nothing. We were like when you're little kids at the dining room table and your daddy throws a plate against the wall. We just sat there like, don't say nothing. You're hurt too. Like, none of us said anything about the fact that they're fucking aliens. And it's really been bothering me. And I was actually on my way to Charlotte. I was doing a show with Shaine. And I saw this billboard on my way that said, 1 in 5 children is a face hugger. And I was like, holy shit, y'all. Not only has the government come out and told us that aliens are real, but now they're breeding with humans and they're making alien human hybrids that are coming out of the womb like, oh my God, what are we going to do about these alien babies, y'all? And you know, if the government's admitting to 1 in 5, it's probably more like 4 out of 5. We are fucked, y'all. What are we going to do about these face hugger babies? And I tell you what, I was all the way to Charlotte before I realized, oh shit, 1 in 5 children face hunger. so much weed and get some damn glasses, y'all. It ain't good. It ain't good. I was single through the apocalypse. That was tough. All of 2020. I just every day I'd wake up and just be like, so no sex ever again, God? Okay. All right. It was tough. It was really tough. And being single in Columbia, South Carolina is literally like just being a puppy that grows up in the fucking pound. Like everybody knows my name, but no one takes me home. And like women, I would wiggle my tail and everything. I'd be like, me, no. Y'all don't look sad. Like I live with my mama and daddy. It's a no-kill shelter. I'm gonna be okay. One day they're gonna die and I'm gonna inherit that shelter, you guys. I cannot wait. Actually, believe it or not, I found somebody to love me. I know. I know. Thanks, Shaine. I didn't think it was ever gonna happen either. Actually, this weekend's our 1-year anniversary, so it's been a whole year. No, can you believe it? And here's the thing, y'all. I'm a chunky ass 4 to 5 on a good day with a GED, and that never once stopped me from wanting a 10 with a college degree. And I got her. My girlfriend's a fucking lawyer. I'm sitting in her fat ass library right now. It's like sweet. And you know, guys, like, man, I thought I was fat before. Like, I thought depression fat was really fat. I was not prepared for happy fat, y'all. Happy fat. When you find somebody who loves you and accepts you for who you really are, why would you ever leave the house again and not eat snacks on the couch? I don't know. I don't know, but you wouldn't. And like, you know, here's the thing. It's like changed me as a person. First of all, people that are together, if you don't have a dog, what the fuck do you talk about? I think that's why make babies. They don't get a dog. They ain't got nothing to talk about, so they fucking make something to talk about. But man, me and Annie, we talk about the goddamn dog all the time. Just 40 times a night going, look at the baby. Look at the baby. Literally, the baby hadn't done anything different in the last hour and a half, but that don't matter. We got to look at that damn baby, y'all. I love her very much. It's changed me as a person being with somebody awesome. And you know, like I'm a little bit older than her. And so sometimes I kind of worry that, you know, I'll die before her and, you know, she'll be left alone. And, you know, here's the thing. Do I want her to move on and find happiness again? Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. But do I want them to argue about me periodically? Oh, for sure. For sure. I just want them to be in the car like, I'm never going to be Jenn, okay? And my ghost ass is just in the back seat like, you certainly aren't. You don't know to heat the truck up on a cold day. So it's never going to be me, bitch. It's really amazing. It's changed me as a person. And I know this because I used to stay out partying late at night. And, you know, now when somebody calls the house or calls my phone at 7:30, calls the house. Ain't that cute? Like I got a landline. It's old timey. Wayne, there used to be phones in the house, baby, not on your hip. They would actually, he don't know. He's too young. Anyways, now when somebody texts my phone at 7:30, I get mad. I get irrationally angry. I'm like, who the hell would disturb the sanctity of this home at this ungodly hour? I am putting the dog to bed. It is 7:30. I don't know. It's been really cool. I'm a different person now. Like she bought me an air fryer and I was fucking excited about it, y'all.
Okay.
I was so excited about it. I mean, I guess this whole time, my whole life, basically, I just wanted to be a domesticated raccoon. You know, that's all I wanted. All my raccoon friends come by now and they're like, man, you get trash with us. And I'm like, I have a tiny apron. Don't ruin this for me. But if you find interested in digging through the trash, bring it back over to the house so we can rub it between our paws. Annie looks. Oh my God. Y'all hear her cackling? How could I not be in love with that? How could I not lock that down? I do anything she wants. I don't give a damn. Every morning I get up and make that girl's lunch and have her waiting by the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't fucking this. It's not gonna happen. So we we fell in love during the still kind of lockdown. Things were still kind of shut down, so I had to come up with cool dates. Let me just tell you about the first date we had. This is a good story. So I'm a poor comedian, and I was really poor during the pandemic because it was just tough. I was doing these shows in my mom and daddy's bathtubs, which sounds salacious, but it was literally just me in my mom and daddy's avocado green tub, smoking weed and drinking, and people would tip me for that because they found it entertaining. So I save up to take Annie out on this date. I'm really excited, and I took her to the melting pot. I don't know if everybody has a melting pot wherever they are, but it's basically fondue. They bring you the hot oil and the meats, and you do all this stuff. So we're going to dinner, and I'm telling her about the restaurant, and I'm like, I was like, they bring you out hot oil and you put the food in, and she's kind of looking at me, and she's like, and I was like, yeah, it's really cool. So we get there. We sit down, the waiter comes out, brings the menu. He starts explaining everything. And he's like, yeah, and so we'll bring it out. We'll bring you the skewers. You're going to put the meat on the skewers and you put them in the pot. She cuts him off in the middle of everything. He goes, we got to cook it ourselves. And that's when I was like, yeah, that's the one right there. That is, she was ourselves, you guys. No, but I had to come up with creative ways to have cool dates, and I reverted to TikTok for advice. Man, do y'all TikTok? If y'all TikTok got everything. Y'all be making that TikTok ramen all the time. That shit is delicious. I bought some of them damn yoga pants. I don't even do yoga. I just be looking at myself in the mirror like, yeah. Fucking love TikTok. They have everything on TikTok. But I saw this cool date idea. And it was like a lamp that you buy, and it looks like in your bedroom, it's like swirly colors all over the place, and it looks like you're having sex in space. It's fucking amazing. And I bought us one, but I think I got the cheap knockoff Amazon version because like the titles of the sounds were the weirdest shit I've ever heard in my life. The first one was Cannon Wind Song. I don't even know. What does that sound? Like, I don't even know what that sounds like. Like, what is a cannon wind song? The second one was Bustling Silence. Bustling Silence is the sound I imagine I make when I come back in it from 3 a.m. getting high outside, and I'm trying not to wake Annie up. Just like, but the one that was my absolute favorite was called Forest Bird Scream. Oh. Does that not sound like what a rich white woman names her firstborn son? This is my son for Forest Bird Scream, but we call him Caw for short. I do that whole joke so I can caw at y'all. Isn't that terrible? I missed it. I love y'all. Thank you so much for laughing. It's not just girlfriend, thank God. She's supportive. So I miss doing in-person shows, but I don't really miss like the weird shit that would happen when I do in-person shows. Like one time a lady came up to me after a show and she was like, I just want to let you know my daughter's best friend is transgendered. And I was just like, cool. I'm just a butch bitch in a bow tie. I don't know anything about that, but I appreciate the support. I'm just the last of the Butchikins. That's all that is. One time I was doing a show in a place called Logan, North Carolina. Y'all ever heard of that? Any of y'all? Of course you haven't. It's named after the blight it is on the nation. And I was doing my show, and y'all, mid-set, apropos of fucking nothing, this dude just hollers out in the middle of my set, RuPaul! Like, I didn't even understand that. That slur don't even, I'm not a man. I don't do drag. I don't dress up like a woman. None of that applies to me, sir. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about right now. And more importantly, like, what if every time I got around a bunch of straighties, I just hollered out some nonsense at y'all? What if every time I was around a bunch of straight people and I got uncomfortable, I was just like, Tom Brady, put that in your straight pipe and smoke it. Like, just so silly. But here's the thing, y'all. I know what was going on with that man. He wasn't trying to insult me. That was that dude's enemy, man, just trying to get a message out to one of his own. He was pacing around in that fucking Duck Dynasty looking motherfucker, just like, oh my God, it's one of us. How do we let him know we're here? I don't know. He only lets me watch Bass Pro fishing shows and give angry handy jays down by the boat dock. I don't know what to say. Think of anything gay. I got it. RuPaul. Like, I just imagine under that Duck Dynasty beard was a set of the cock cravenest lips God ever put on a man. I don't know. I just think hate like that is weird. People that hate like that is just so strange. Here in Columbia, not too long ago, I saw a dude down at the Publix because I guess he just thought that's where a hotbed of homosexual activity would be, is at the old Publix. He was down there. He had a big old poster board. And y'all, it was a Tuesday, okay? It wasn't Gay Pride Month. It wasn't Dolly Parton's birthday. It was no important gay holiday. It was just fucking Tuesday. And this dude had a big ass Dollar Tree poster board, because I know Dollar Tree poster board when I see it, sir. And he wrote on there with a Sharpie, God hates fags. Big bold letter.
God hates pigs.
Okay, my turn. He said God hates fags, and then he had a bunch of little tiny writing underneath it, which I could only assume read like this: God hates fags because of their sexy little fucking mouths, and they're always looking at me, and they're so goddamn pretty. And you ever been in a fucking faggot's house? They're goddamn beautifully decorated. And you ever sat in one of them fags' cars? They're so clean you can eat Chick-fil-A off the floor. God hates sexy fags. Like, here's the thing, you guys. I hate Pop-Tarts. I feel like they're an inferior breakfast treat. You know what I'm saying? What y'all call icing, I call lies. It's hard. They're gross. Why would you ever put a Pop-Tart in your mouth when God gave us toasty, flaky, delicious toaster strudel? He lets you decide how much frosting you want to jizz on that damn thing. But I don't got time to go down to the fucking Publix on a Tuesday with a poster board denouncing Pop-Tarts, y'all. I just don't have the room in my heart for that kind of hate. I don't know. I digress. Sorry, I get really upset about Pop-Tarts. So, oh man, you ever lose your train of thought in a very important Zoom meeting? No? Are y'all doing Zoom meetings? Are y'all working from home? Is everybody still going out and getting the Rona? Yep. Yeah. It's rough. I miss the outside world. I don't miss the weird shit people would say to me. Another time a lady came up to me after a show and she said, I thought the whole time you was up there, you was wearing a woman's suit. And I was like, where the hell would you even get a woman's suit? Y'all, like the JC Penney of some creepy guy's basement. This lady thought I was up there like Mrs. Dykefire or something, y'all. She thought I was perpetrating a front somehow. And like, more importantly, let's just say that there is a store, a lady suit store, where you can go in and pick out any lady suit you want. You perused all the lady suits, and Fat Butch Lesbian is the avatar that you picked out to drive. Get the hell out of my face. I don't. It's so weird. People are weird, man. I used to work with a girl who would constantly ask me what lesbians did in bed. And finally I got tired of her asking. So I was like, all right, Carson, listen. The first time lesbians have sex, they use an eggplant. And she was like, for what? And I was like, don't be naive. You know what for. And then after we're done, we chop it up and we cook it in a dish and we eat the dish together to consummate the relationship. And I just like this bad lesbian information out on the streets, you know, just have them thinking any old thing about us. I don't know what it is, but I can't eat breakfast like a normal human being. Like, I cannot go to a Waffle House without an old white dude just staring me down, just like, I didn't know your kind ate breakfast. And when they do that to me, I just do weird shit back to them just to make them uncomfortable. I'll just order tomatoes and biscuits. And, you know, you're probably like, that's not weird. But I don't put the tomato in the middle of the biscuit and eat it like that. That's like a sandwich. I just slap the tomato on top of the biscuit. Just start tearing at it like a fucking raccoon that found a debit card in the parking lot. Have old dudes going back to work like, man, these lesbians, they love Mater biscuits. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it myself, man. I'm woke and know what I'm talking about. And I don't know. I just like the thought of all this bad lesbian information on the streets. Like, I like the thought of somebody seeing one of mine in the wilds of the Publix produce department, just like elbowing their buddy, like, she got a big night planned. It's going to be eggplant in the evening and Mater biscuits in the morning. Y'all, thank you so much for giving me some of your time. And thank you, Geo, for having me on. I had so much fun. I love you all so much. Like, we couldn't do this without y'all. So thank y'all for watching. And Chris, Shaine, Geo, y'all are funny as hell, and I appreciate the opportunity to work with y'all.
Thanks. Your girlfriend's got the best laugh I've ever heard.
I know. That's why I nailed her down, man.
Yeah, she's great. Hearing her
amazing.
laugh from a different room cracking me up.
She's in the world of twos, sir. She's the best.
You know, Jen, I don't understand the issue. I've always known what lesbians do in bed. They sleep. Everybody else.
That is true. We're going to bed as soon as this is done. Make no mistake, and not to have sex. We're going to go to bed.
It's like, yeah, what do most people do in bed? They sleep, you know.
Yeah.
That's for sex.
Yeah, we watch The Office and we sleep. That's what we do. That's what the bed's for.
I just got to remember to put the cover back on my webcam, or this will be bad.
Now, I will give you this tip though. Make sure you check that the kitchen table is sturdy before you try sex on it.
Good
Yeah.
advice.
Is
You
that
know,
experience?
Nothing more embarrassing than having the table collapse on you. It's just yeah. Well, I had a great time, you guys. It was, as I expected, it was a hilarious lineup. I'm glad everybody came, and I appreciate everybody that came. And again, if you had a good time, please tell your friends, join our subscribe to our Facebook or Instagram pages, and you'll see information about the next show that we have. And if you really had a good time, at paypal.me/BD Comedy or on Cash App $button down comedy, send a little bit to the comedians. Let them know how much you enjoyed the show. All right. Thanks, everybody. And please get home safe.
Thank you.
Thanks. This was fun. This is fun.
Thanks, Jim.
Bye-bye.
See you soon, Geo.
Take care.